The following presentation is brought to you by the Revell Network.
That's awesome.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was wonderful. I want to also, before we let you go, I want to ask you some general questions about what you guys do. What are some of the best-selling models over the history of Revell, over the course of company's history?
Well, certainly Star Wars has been a cornerstone for us. But you see, there's definitely staples in our line that consistently do well. Actually, a space shuttle that we did many years ago was a big item and did very well. If I roll the clock back even farther, actually, the Goodyear blimp was a model that they sold a lot of. They actually created two tools for that so that they could have double production lines running at the same time for that product. Today, what continues, a Titanic.
Really?
Yeah. The RMS Titanic, that continues consistently as a top seller for us. We also see product such as
does it break apart so you can have one? Does it break apart so you can have it up in the air and?
Oh yeah, break in half.
Yeah.
We've talked about doing something like that, but we haven't quite gone there yet.
I hate to say it, it's cruel, but it would be awesome.
Yeah, we actually have talked about that. We haven't done it yet. Another one that is pretty consistent for us here these days is the Gravedigger.
Really?
Gravedigger does very, very well. Again, this for kids, right? Targeting kids,
Sure.
and kids really love this. And once you put it together, it's got rolling wheels. You can play with it and have lots of fun with it. This is top secret information here. You're going to be the first to get this. It's not Star Wars related.
Who will I tell?
But we are about to announce our agreement, and you could say you heard it here first, with NASCAR, and we have renewed our license with NASCAR, and we're coming out with a series of NASCAR products. Right now, we've got Joey Logano, number 22, and Brad Kozlowski. It'll be out by the end of the year.
Okay.
We'll have these coming out, and then we're going to do two more items next year. We're going to have Jimmy Johnson and I'm going blank on who the last one is.
No.
Oh yeah, Junior, of course. How could I forget Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. No.
So you can see we hit a wide gamut of products.
No Danica Patrick to bring in the girls.
At the moment we haven't tooled that one up yet.
Oh, that'll be fun. What model has been the most enduring, that has been in production the longest?
You know what? Our Visible V8. Our Visible V8 is really a staple for us, and it does very well. Every year we sell quite a bit of product of that. It's an educational item, and it's actually one of our more difficult models, but because of its educational value, it does very well.
I remember the friends growing up who would have those, and I would marvel at them, and I would know I will never work on a motor. For some people would look at it and go, oh my God, I want to get to know how exactly that works and put it together and do the real thing. And for some of us, it's like, nope, I'll never understand a bit of it.
Yeah, I've seen people that put them together, and then they did videos on YouTube where they will put some type of oil through there, like vegetable oil or something like that, and they've actually hooked it up to some type of a drill or some electrical device, a crank, and they've gotten them up to like 5,000 RPMs.
Oh my God, that's insane. And I just wondered, do the model makers, we talked about them being mechanical engineers, do they have a certain amount of renown and fame within certain circles, or are they fairly anonymous?
There's definitely a following within the communities, the modeling communities, and people know who some of our lead product development team is, and we're starting to get more into social media and interface more with our consumers. So we want our customers to get to know who's here and who's designing and building these models for them.
I have one more question for you, Lou. In
Sure.
this electronic age that we're in, you make a product that's very tactile. You have to touch it, feel it, you have to assemble it, put it together. and you sort of have to understand why it fits together and why it makes sense, especially when you get up to the 900-piece Millennium Falcon. Why do you think, at a time when video games and electronics are so much the rage, that Revell has endured and continues to, be out there?
It's a great question. I think there's many reasons, I think, to this, and one of them is, at the end of the day, kids in particular enjoy building. They enjoy using their hands. They enjoy being proud of doing something and completing something. It's one of the phrases we use is, I made that. And many times kids will put a model together, and the first thing they'll do is they'll go and they'll show somebody. And they'll say, look, I made this. I put this together. I did this. And there's that connection with the model. As well, there's lots of different reasons why people build why people build models. I'll just show you here real quick. Here's an example of package, and again, this is for a 6-year-old. This is our entry-level product. But there's a boy showing I made that. But as I was saying, there's many reasons why people build models. There's personal connections to something that they may build from something in their history. There is something that they may aspire to, something that they may be a fan of, and it's one thing to see things on a computer screen, which is great, but it's another thing to physically put something in your hand that you can touch and feel and look at, and it's pretty hard to replace actual 3D space. And we're actually we're putting together a product now that girls can put together, right? Girls enjoy building models as well. So it's not just age and gender specific. It's kids in general, period, enjoy putting models together, using their hands and being creative.
Since you mentioned that, I'll ask you, and I know you guys are work with Target. Did their announcement recently about going no longer being gender specific in the toy aisles, did that affect you? Did you have any opinion on that?
No, it doesn't affect us, because as we see, every time we put a product in front of a boy or a girl, they're equally happy. Every year, for the last 2 years, we've been going to auto shows in Detroit and in Chicago. And we have what we call make and take events, where children come, and at the auto show they put together a model like this Ford Mustang. And boys and girls come, they stand in line, they wait in line for 30 or 40 minutes to put together their model, and every single one of them, boys and girls, at the end have this huge smile on their face of, look what I've got, look what I did. So we're not gender specific.
Awesome, very cool. All right, well, folks, listen. You can find Revell's cool new models for Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, in great stores everywhere, including Target. Or you can order them right now at a great price at MrMedia.com. And you know how this works? If you're watching on MrMedia.com, below the video you will see the items available for sale. You can click on them and it'll take you right to them, and you can order them right now. Revell has a website, I believe, right? Yes,
correct. Revell.com.
All right, and 2 L's.
2 L's, that's correct.
REVELL.com. And you mentioned social media. Does Revell have a presence in Facebook, Twitter, things like that?
Sure, we have a Facebook page. Look us up, and as well as Twitter.
All right. Well, this has been great. I have to tell you, as we close, that when Star Wars had its world premiere in New York back in, I want to say 1976, I think.
Yeah.
I was actually there.
Wow.
When they had the stars in the movie. Nobody knew. We just gotten the tickets, the passes for Media Connection, and a buddy of mine went. We went to the Lowe's Astor Plaza in New York, and we were there with the stars in the movie. We had no idea. And then when that thing started going over your head and the whole building is shaking, oh my God. So to be here with you and be discussing these toys so many years later, I won't say how many, you can do the math, it's very cool. And I want to thank you and thank Revell for sharing this with us on Force Friday. And Lou, thank you personally for joining us on Mr. Media today.
No, it's my pleasure, and I hope you enjoy the product, and all those that are out there that get a chance to experience it, I hope you enjoy it as well.
Turn your back on a believer.